Hey everybody, welcome back to Parenting on the Ranch. Today we're going to be talking about staying connected with your spouse. So stick around.
We are a family of 5 living on a ranch in Texas.
On our channel, we will cover a variety of topics. These are solely based on our experience and opinions, and we do not hold any degrees in childhood development or education.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Parenting on the Ranch. So today we're going to be talking about how to stay connected with your lovely spouse, or vice versa. But before we get into that, please make sure you click on the subscribe button down in the bottom right hand corner, as well as the bell icon so you don't miss anything. So we do 2 videos a week. We do a topical video like this one on Fridays, and we do a mosh podge mixture type thing of different subjects and stuff on Tuesday. So twice a week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Alright, so how to stay connected with your spouse. And especially with kids. Now, it adds a level of complexity when you have kids. They tend to take up your time.
Yeah.
When we started out, it was like, it was just us. And, we could do the date nights. We could do, if we wanted to
go to IHOP at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Several times, yeah. We could just do something at the drop of a hat. But now that we have kids, it's a lot harder. And between finding a babysitter and, money and time, it's rather hard as a parent.
And too, once you become a parent, I've noticed our interest in things change. We used to go to the movies all the time, but now it's when I sit and watch a movie, I'm like, if I sit still for more than 5 minutes, it's pretty well I'm out. But you too. Uh-huh. But your interest in things change as to what really you would do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of time when it's just the two of us, 95% of the time we're talking about kid things. Mm-hmm. Activities at school, home activities, homework, chores, just their daily life, appointments coming up, all those things. So it's finding that activity where you're going to step out of your normal routine of talking about the kids, or mm-hmm. They are our main priority, so it does take up a lot, but just stepping out of that and how are you doing? Mm-hmm. How are you feeling?
Having a
trying to branch out from just kids and bills and mm-hmm. home repair.
Yeah. It's like you talked in the last video, in the mom guilt one. Mm-hmm. You have to find some way to recharge your batteries, otherwise you're not going to be good to anybody. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with
your
being
relationship.
A couple. Yeah. If you don't nurture that relationship, you're gonna grow separate ways. You're gonna not be as connected as you once were, and that happens with anybody.
But I think about it I think about our relationship and the way that we approach being a couple and being married and all these things and having a family. It's basically the fundamentals of a house. Our connection is the foundation. If our connection and bond and unity isn't there, and the stability of us isn't there, the rest of the house will crumble. Mm-hmm. The kids will feel it. That will, what's the word? It will integrate into their daily life. If there's, something between us going on, they know it, they feel it, and it affects them. So we are the foundation of the rest of their life. We are, every day. So.
Yeah, and like I said, you have to nurture that, and mm-hmm. So I think probably first and foremost, the number one thing that you need to make sure that you do with your spouse is touch. Yeah. Whether it's holding hands or, I'll sit and I'll have my hand on your leg, or just touching. It's
the proximity.
Yeah.
Because I think when you think about touch, if I'm a little down or something, and you just hold my hand and you're having a great day or you're in a good mood, I feed off of that, and I guess it pulls me out of it. Yeah, I think it's kind of vice versa.
Yeah, and science has shown just with touch, and especially with the hug, it releases endorphins into your body, and which endorphins is not endorphins,
oxytocin.
Oxytocin, yeah, it's what scientists have dubbed the cuddle hormone, and it not only will, it's not only for couples, it's for everybody. A complete stranger, a coworker, whatever. When you touch, when you hug, physical contact oftentimes will release these oxytocins, and it increases their mood. It makes them feel better. So it's, a touch goes a long ways.
Well, and I don't know if I could find it, but there's one of those meme things that it says there's three major connections or touches that you need a day. The first 3 minutes when you wake up, at least 3 forms of touch, I think it is, and then the last 3 minutes before you go to bed. Mm-hmm. Dude, have you seen the one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it's something like that, but I can't think of what the middle one is.
No. I saw that while I was looking for information on this, just as a scientific background of what we're talking about, so it actually appears like we know what we're talking about. Anyways, there's a family therapist by the name of Virginia Satir, and I'll link this in the description below. She says that you need 4 hugs a day for survival, and you need 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and you need 12 hugs a day for growth. But you really think about it. If as a couple, just to survive, you need a minimum of 4. That's not a lot. Yeah. We hug all the time. When we leave, when we come back together, when we're just
walking past each other.
Yeah. The hug, a gentle rubbing of a shoulder or something like that, is something that just comes natural to us. There's some people that it doesn't. You can tell a lot of times when you're out shopping or something like that. You can tell who the newlyweds are.
Yeah.
You could tell because they're all touchy feely. They're holding hands. They're kissing, whatever. And then you see couples that have been married for a while. They often don't do that as much.
It's very minimal. Yeah.
It's nice to see. I love seeing that older couple that have been married for 40 years or whatever that are walking hand in hand.
Yeah.
I love to see that because it's so romantic. It's so hopeful.
Yeah.
For some of us, and just that we will last that long and still be that much in love. So touch is a major contributor to the maintaining of your relationship with your spouse or other loved ones or friends,
Yeah. We're a big hugger. Oh, let's see.
Okay, so number 2, I think, in doing this is having same with your kids, having a bedtime routine. Whether you go to bed at the same time or not, lay down at the same time. Back when I worked midnight shift, or when I worked midnight shift, or even when I worked 12 to 12 shift, oftentimes you would go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock or whatever, and I would stay up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, or later, depending on what shift it was.
You worked 4 p to, what was it?
3 to 7. 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. is what I worked.
Yeah. And I worked 8 to 5. Yeah. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that was really... It wasn't taxing on our relationship. It's just we had to make those compromises of, you would I would go to bed and he would come and lay down just so we could like talk about our day or have that,
that
connection.
Contact,
yeah. And same thing with me, like I would go, stay up later so we could do that on my days off.
Yeah. Whether or not you go to bed at the same time, still lay down. And if you do typically go to bed about the same time, definitely lay down together. Sit and talk. In that last 15, 20 minutes or so of your day, just sit down and talk. Cuddle. Ask each other how their day was, or what they found troublesome, or what they can
excelled at.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing between us, like that last 15, 20 minutes of the day, I have your undivided attention. He has my undivided attention because there's not kids running around, the TV's not on, I'm not playing on my phone, stuff like that. So we can really snib it and cut it down to the most important things to say. And I think like when we have that time and we talk about the more important, even if we talk about the kids, if we talk about the most pertinent stuff for the day, it seems more, I don't know if relevant's a good word. It seems relevant and it's in my forefront when I wake up the next morning, like, I need to do this today or get this accomplished because it's the last thing I heard when I went to sleep. Then it's the first thing I think about when I get up.
Right.
Another big one is never going to bed angry.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's very hard sometimes, especially when it's something big. But not going to bed angry because we're not promised tomorrow for either one of us. We're not promised that morning to be grateful and deal with it then, or just never go to bed angry and talk. And in that time, going to bed at the same time, you have that almost sacred time to squash it, to at least come to terms and settle on some kind of
settlement.
At least settle on a mid ground to where you're both happy and you're both satisfied with the outcome of the situation.
Right.
And I think that too is when we talk a lot about our like big parenting disagreements, maybe. And it's probably the best time because the kids aren't around, little ears, hear a lot of things. So, if I did something you wouldn't do, or if you did something I wouldn't do, we could talk about it open and honest and hash it out basically in our secluded environment. It's just us. It's no other outside influence. So don't go to bed angry and try to just, at least agree to disagree. But put it into it before you, put it into it before you go to sleep, because you're not promised the next day.
Yeah. Even if you have to stay up an hour later, or 2 hours later, or 5 hours later, still don't go to bed angry.
No.
Work it out, come to some kind of resolution, and go to bed. Go to sleep. I was going to say move on with your day.
And after that talk, you'll probably be exhausted anyways. So I think when we work it out, when we've talked about it, I can sleep better at night knowing like we have a resolution and we've moved on.
Right. And
then with that, I sleep better and it doesn't affect the next day. It doesn't affect the kids the next day. So.
And on the flip side of that, you could wake up at the same time. If one of you typically wakes up at 5 in the morning and the other one typically wakes up at 6 in the morning or something like that.
Not a chance, buddy.
You could meet in the middle, or
you wake up at 4. I wake up at 6. 5 is okay. I might not be coherent. I'll wake up if you want me to, but I might not remember a thing.
But wake up and
Have coffee together.
Yeah, have coffee. You know, go outside and sit on your porch and drink coffee, or you know, even spend time in the bathroom. You know, you can play some music or something. You can get all of your morning stuff done. You know, your teeth and all brushing your hair and all that. All that can be done while you're talking to each other. You know, talking about what is coming up for the day, or what you hope to accomplish, or what you would like to see, or what didn't happen yesterday. You know, that can be a time when the kids are not up and you can sit and talk and have a meaningful conversation by yourself.
Yeah. I think the third thing on this list, or what we're talking about, would be doing things together. You know, we kind of touched on it with the movies, but
But that was before kids.
Yeah, that was before kids. Now that we have kids, and our kids have had so many types of behaviors. We've really had to adjust what we do together. Because it's not just what we do; it's a span of time that we can do it in. We've had newborns, we've had teenagers, we've had hard behaviors and not. So it's really like trying to find hobbies that fit the need of our family that we still enjoy. So, and some hobbies don't take very long. We do, what is it called? That painting with a twist. We've done that. It took, I think, an hour or hour and a half. It was a Valentine's date or something. Birthday.
Christmas.
It was close. But, we both had never tried it, so it was a new experience. It was a new adventure, basically, for us. Because I like to paint, but I've never done it in that kind of setting before. So just finding, new stuff to do. Stuff that you like to do together. Let's see, there's movies. Going out to eat is a big one. If I don't have to cook it, I'm in.
But typically that's with kids, too.
What?
Going out to eat. Typically is when you don't want to cook, or when I don't want to cook, we go out, it's with the family.
But when it's some more fancy, like, shrimp or, stuff like that I don't cook because you don't like it, I'm in. Whatever. But
it doesn't have to be going out either. It could be something here, something at the house. Like you said, you like to paint. We can sit down and paint together. Puzzles. We both love to do puzzles. So, we can...
We've done puzzles a lot, but we kind of got away from it. We have a stack of puzzles, but little tiny hands.
But my wife got me a really neat little thing for Christmas, a little pad that you roll up the puzzle in.
It's a puzzle saver, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to try that. But, things like that, turning off the TV, that's probably one of the biggest things with doing something together, especially, turning off the TV, spending that time together, do a puzzle, read a book, color if you like to color, or draw, or whatever, any kind of hobby that you might have, get involved with it. If your spouse likes a hobby, try their hobby out. Do it because they like to do it. Even if you don't particularly care for it, do it because they like to.
Well, you said TVs, but me, I don't really get to watch a whole lot of TV. So mine is my phone. Putting my phone down or putting on airplane mode so I don't get notifications, or I'm not tempted to pick it up, or turn it off for that matter. But you have a phone issue too, but that's besides the point. But nowadays everybody has it. So, that's a big thing. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I'm on my phone. I read books and stuff like that. Just turn it off and set it aside, or put
disconnect.
It in. Yeah. And, we talked about going out and doing things, and you brought it back to the house. You can, we used to, have dance parties in the house. This is way before kids. We would just dance, or crank the radio up and just dance and listen to music, and all those things are free. You've already bought the music, if you still have CDs like we do, but At least we don't have cassettes anymore. But you know, like turn on music, just what?
I have cassettes.
Where?
Somewhere.
But you know, I mean, we used to do that. But like, bring it to the house. Find free things to do because we talk a lot about saving money. So you know, find those free things that you can do. You know, things you got around the house.
Mm-hmm.
But date nights is very hard for us because I say it's very hard for us. I mean, we can have my parents watch the kids or get a babysitter. Your parents watch the kids, even though they live across town. But I think too, it's because our kids really don't ever go to bed without us, and that's their routine, and we try not to stray from that. So I mean, it's really hard for us to go out on dates. Thank goodness that Gage goes to pre-K in August, so we'll have lunch dates then. You know, it doesn't have to be at night. Have a breakfast date, you know, or doing those hobbies.
And last but not least, and probably the absolute most important thing that anybody should do, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your kids, whether it's your parents, you know, friends, you know, close friends, whatever. Don't part ways without saying I love you or giving a hug or a kiss or whatever the case may be. Always, 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 when you part ways, say I love you. You know, it is a very good habit to get into because, like you said, we're not promised tomorrow. You know, we may have an accident, you know, driving to work tomorrow.
Not really.
You know, or
you're not guaranteed the next hour.
Yeah.
So I mean, just those. It's very easy to say I love you. It's very easy to say, but that small snippet of like quick I love you. I mean, make it meaningful. Make sure that you have the eye contact that they know it's not just something repetitive that you say. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't go outside sometimes without, you know, you don't go outside. Like going to the workshop or going to the barn and things like that. I don't go outside that I don't tell the kids I love them or give them a hug, make sure I give them a kiss. Mm-hmm. Just make sure that they have that back to touch before we separate. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's a big one. Mm-hmm. It's a very it's a very powerful thing to say that you love someone. You know, you put a lot of trust behind that. You put a lot of, you know, emotion behind that. Make sure that emotion shows through and they know it. Mm-hmm.
So, do y'all have any tips on maintaining your relationship with your spouse? What do y'all do? Leave a comment below. Let us know what y'all do to maintain your relationship. We would love to hear your ideas as well. Maybe we can incorporate some of them in our daily routines. So, but we want to thank you very much for tuning in. So please make sure you click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos. Like I said, we do a Mod Podge type videos on Tuesday and our topical videos like this on every Friday.
A long week.
Friday, yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyways, y'all, thank y'all again for tuning in. Please share this video with your friends and like it. Give it that thumbs up. It really helps us out if you do. So until next time,
happy parenting.